So now we are moving to the new domain, having the two-dimensional representation and the three-dimensional representation using the MATLAB. Now for the two-dimensional representation, we use the command here. Just remember, only very simple, plot. Nothing is special. Plot. For the purpose of the plotting of any graph between the two vectors, we have to use only the plot. And if we are interested to plot a function versus its independent variable, that is a function of time, then f versus t, then we have to use the f plot here. Now see the different types of the function, like the polar plot and the mesh plot and some simple plot here. And sometimes there is a need of the editing of the plot. So during the time of the editing, we have to introduce here the plot title, y-axis label, x-axis label, data type, data symbol, and some content has to be written at a particular location, and that may be the movable, and there must be the legend, tick marks on the x-axis and the y-axis. So for these purposes, we can use here the different types of the commands in the program. Now suppose we use here the plot x comma y. The two vectors are given, x and y. First we will define the x, that is the independent variable or the set of the variables, and y that depends upon the x. Now see here, if we say we are considering this table, this is the example. X is given 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 7.5, 8, and 10, and corresponding values of the y is this one here. We are interested to drive a graph between the x and y. We just use here the x, plot x and y. We are doing nothing here, but just we are putting here the plot. See, we have defined the x. X is nothing, but that is the row matrix. We can use here the comma, or we can use here the a character gap. And similarly, we have defined here the y, and we have written the plot x comma y. And after putting the plot x comma y, by default we will get a solid curve between the x and y. I am repeating, by default we will get here the solid curve between the x and y, and having blue in color. No marks will be there. Now suppose we are interested again for the plot, but at this time we are interested to draw the plot having a different color, style, and marker. So for that purpose, we have to use the line specifiers. That is the plot x comma y command, same command, but in the simple inverted comma here we have to specify the line specifiers. So what is the line specifiers? We have to decide the color, line style, and we have to decide the marker. So here for the purpose of the solid line, we put here this one dash, dotted line, dashed line, and dash dot line. These are the style, line style, and line color. Red will be represented by the R, green, this is the blue, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. These are the letters which will be used for the different colors here. Similarly, for the marker types, the different types of the markers can be used here. The plus sign, circle, asterisk, point, square, and the diamond for the different values here. Now see here, if we write here the plot x comma y, then by default we will get here the solid line blue in color. Plot x comma y, that will be a solid line, but the color will be red. Plot x comma y, here the dashed line will be represented in yellow color, and here the plot x comma y, asterisk will be used as a marker. Then plot x comma y, that is the graph between the x and y, green in color, and the points here will be used for the marker here, dotted points, and here the D, that is the mark here. We are using here the green in color, and D is the diamond markers will be used here. Now see, a table is given. Now it is nothing but this is the x vector, this is the y vector, and we define the x vector and the y vector. Since there is a consecutive gap of the 1, that's why we have given here the initial value is the first one, is this is the last value. So by default it will take a gap of the 1, or we can write here the gap of the 1. Cells are this one. So plot x versus y, and line specifiers here the dashed line, red in color, and asterisk in sign. So now see the result here. we are using red in color, dashed line style, asterisk in color here. Similarly, if we are interested in order to draw the plot for a function, then suppose the function is 3.5, its power minus 0.5x cos 6x for the value of the x minus 2 to 4. One thing has to be noted here, that whatever are the example here we are taking, these are related to the static system. They are not dynamic system. They may be the linear or the non-linear. For example, this is the non-linear function, but they are not the dynamic system, because the dynamic system must be represented either using the differential equation or the difference equation, which we have discussed in the very first slide of this discussion here. So here in order to write the comment, we will use here the percentage sign. These are the comments here. These are not the parts of our program. We will just define here the x. X has a range minus 2 to 4 here. We have defined minus 2 to 4. And if the gap is given, then we will define here the gap. Otherwise, we can select this gap as per our need and the requirement. And y, this is the y is the function. We will define the y, that is the 3.5, its power. Here we are using the power. Just remember one thing, that is that we are using the dot then operator, because vector is this one here, and then minus 0.5x cos 6x. Now plot x comma y. So naturally we will get here a graph between this function having the exponential, cosine, and between the x here. Now see this one here. Now if we reduce the gap between the two consecutive values here, suppose now the gap is from 0.01 to 0.3 here. Same function, nothing is different, but the gap is reduced here. So we will get here this type of the curve. So if the gap is smaller and smaller, we will here receive better and better performance, or the better and better function, that is more smooth function. Now if we are interested to draw the f plot, and at the same time we are also interested to define the range on the x-axis and y-axis, then we will use the command f plot function and then limits. Now see here, just writing one word of the command, we are in position to get the responses here. So here if we write here the f plot and then define the function comma limits, and limits are nothing but the limits on the x-axis, that is the minimum value of the x to the maximum value, or x-axis as well as the y-axis, both will be defined here. Now see, this is the function. Suppose the function is given as y is equal to x square plus 4 sine 2x minus 1, and the range of the x is minus 3 to 3. Then we write here the f plot and define the function itself, and then in the bracket we have to define the range of the x. We will get here the graph between the function and the range of the x. From in previous one, if we see, then we will find that the range is from minus 3 to 3 here. Now suppose we are interested to plot the multiple graphs in the same plot here, then for that purpose we will use the plot command, and then we will use the hold on and the hold off commands. This type of the plots are required during the time of the analysis, comparative analysis of the performance of the different system, or the different types of the equation, or the different types of the model. So for that purpose we can very simple command. We can use the, suppose that here the y depends upon the x, v depends upon the y, s depends upon the t. Then we just write here the plot x comma y, u comma v, t comma s, and we will get the three graphs in the same plot here. Now say we are interested now, but these three graphs will have the same color, solid line having the blue color. So in order to differentiate them, we can put here the line specifiers, that is the x comma y, dash, that is the solid line blue in color, and u comma b, this is the red in color, and this is the here the green in color. Now we can use these commands in this example here. Suppose y is given by this equation having the range of the x minus 2 to 4 here. We define x and we will define y. And then suppose yd is not a command, it is a symbol, a symbolic representation of the, here we have written this one is the yd is the YD represents the first derivative of the y. And when we here derivate this one, then we will get here the first derivative of this one will become this one here, and second derivative is this one. Now suppose we are interested to plot the graph between the x and y, x and first derivative and x and the second derivative here. Then we can write here the plot x comma y, and here the blue in color, x comma yd red in color dashed line, x and the second derivative black in color. Now see the result here. We will get the three graphs in the same plot, and now we can compare the performance of these three types of the equations or the system here. The same can be done also with the help of the fold on and fold off command. First we will plot the command, and then we will write the fold on, and then after putting the different commands, when all the commands have been over, then we will write here the fold off. For example, say the plot of the function is this one is given, the derivative, and we are interested in order to draw the plot between the yd, that is the first derivative, second derivative, and here they say this is the range of the x. So first define the x, define the y. Y is nothing but that is the function of the x, and first derivative, second derivative. Now plot x comma y, that is between the x and y, and this is the blue in color. Hold on. After first plot command, hold on. Then plot x comma yd red in color, plot x comma ydd black in color, and if more are required, then we will write the more commands here. And after when all the commands have been over, we will write here the hold off. Now see, this is the result here, which can be used by using the hold on and hold off command here. Now editing can be done by double clicking on a particular mark or the line. Here suppose that we are interested in order to write something on the x-axis, then by double clicking we can edit this one. Similarly y, similarly we can edit the line here, this one is the title or any text when written, or this may be also a part of the program. So it is advisable that during the time of the writing of the program, we should consider it as a part of the program, so that when we apply here the profiling enhancement of the coding, this all the here the codes may be modified accordingly here. So here for the purpose of the adding the title, now see here the different types of the commands which will be used for the purpose of the formatting. For the title, we will just write here the title, then in the bracket, in the single inverted comma, write the string whatever is the written for the title. Then for the x label, whatever we are interested to write on the x label, the same will be written here in the string, and similarly for the y label. And now if we are interested to define the range of the axes, x and y axis, then write here the command axis, range of the x axis and the y axis here. Now legend, in order to enter the legend here, just write here the legend, then string 1, that is for first one, second one, and third one. Similarly, if we are interested to write something at a particular location or the position x and y, then write here the text at x comma y. And if we are interested to write something that is movable, that we are interested, no, this is not a particular location, now we are interested to move this one from this location to that location, then that can be done with the help of the gtext command here. So if we are interested for the fixed string here, fixed position, then text. Otherwise, for the movable, we will use the gtext here. Now, for example, if we consider that this one is the example related to the light intensity here, then we will define here the x and y and the first derivative, and plot here the graph between the x and y. Hold on, x here the first derivative of the x and y, then hold up. Now if we are interested to edit the graph here, this will be the graph here. But after, for the purpose of the editing, we can click here to different position in order to edit it. I selecting the edit option, or we can also include it into the using the different type of the command. One more popular graph is the logarithmic graph, semi-log graph. This is the very simple graph which we have discussed, that is the plot between the x and y. Now suppose we are interested in order to draw a graph between the x and y has very large range, then that range will be in order to represent that range, we have to use the logarithmic scale on the y. So for that purpose, we will define the x and y. Then just write here the semi-log, and then that axis, which axis? Y, and then comma x comma y. Similarly, if we are interested for the logarithmic plot on the x-axis, we just write here the semi-log x comma y. And if both axes have to be written using the log scale here, then we will write here the log, then in parenthesis x comma y. Very simple, very useful, very attractive. Now plots with special graphics, that is the bar graph. Just define here the x-axis, y-axis value, that is the year and the sale, bar, year versus sale. And if there is no specifier, then we will get here the blue color. And since we have defined here the color red, that's why we will get here the bar graph. And what is the specialty? That is the vertical graph, red in color, because we have defined it. Now suppose we write the bar h and we have not defined the color, no specifier has been used here, then we will find a horizontal bar graph, and that will be blue in color here. And suppose we are interested for the stair function, again in the similar manner, define the x and y, right? Just write here the stairs, x comma y. We will get here the stair function. For the discrete function, that is named as the stem function, write here the year, and so that is the x y, put here the stem, and we will get here the stem function, that is the discrete function here. Sometimes there is a pie chart which is required during the time of the grading, etc. here. Suppose in our class 11 students have the grade A, 16 B, 18 C, D and E. So we will write here the first vector, that is the grade, having the total number of the students having the A grade, B grade, C grade, and then write here the pi and then that vector grade. And title, we can insert here the title, class grades, our particular name of that class, and we can introduce here. And if we are interested for the polar plot here, as we know, polar plot utilizes during the time of the designing of the antenna, etc. So here, if we are interested for the polar plot here, then we have to define the theta and the radians here. So just define here the theta and the radians. After defining theta and radians, we write here the polar T and R. Switch on. Now, if we are interested for the polar plot, then for the polar plot, we again define here the theta and the radius, and write here the polar between the T and R. Now, if, here for the other purposes, if we are interested to fill the color, then we will write here the fill. First, write the T and R, and then we will define here the fill x comma y having the red in color, and we will get here the this type of the graph here. If we are interested for the bar chart having some little bit complex function here, then first again we will define here the theta and the radius having the very simple or very complex equation. It hardly matters what is the equation, whether that one is very simple or that one is very complex. We have to just remember, we have to define the two vectors. In the x, y, we have to define the x and y. Here we have to define the theta and the radius here. And we will get here the graph like this. Again, this is the pie chart. And now I'm moving to the three-dimensional plots here. For the three-dimensional plots, we will use here the plot 3 command. As in the two-dimensional, we have to just use the plot. Now we have to use the plot 3. For example, say the t is the independent variable, x is defined in terms of the t, y is defined as in terms of the t, and z is also defined in terms of the t. So x, y, z, three vectors are defined as a function of the t, and range of the t is defined first, then define the x, y, z as per our need or as per the requirement, and then write here the plot 3, x comma y comma z, and here the color of the this one here. Now if we see, then we'll find this is the equation of the helix here, right? Now coming to the next one, plotting matrix data here. Now suppose matrix data Z and Y. If we write this type of the command, that is the X comma Y mesh grid, then it transforms the domain specified by the vectors, that is the X and Y, into the arrays. Here the X, Y are the inputs, and capital X and capital Y are the outputs. So what will be the capital Y? Here the in this one we will transform the information of the X and Y, that is the rows will be transformed to the rows of this one, and every column of this one will be copied to the column of this one here. And if we are interested in order to plot the graph, then we just write here the plot 3XYZ, and gridding can be done by using the grid on. We will get here this type of the graph. For these are the, we have to just remember this function. That is for the surface plot, we have to use the surf mesh plot mesh, and mesh, and the contour plot we have to use the mesh C, surface C, mesh Z, that is the cutting plot. That is the only the Z axis will be utilized here. So this is known as the mesh Z. And P colors, it is the flat surface plot, and the value of is proportional to only colors, that is it is named as the P color here. The surf L, that is the surface plot eliminated from the specified direction here, and surface, when we write the surface, low level function on which high level functions are based for creating surface graphics object here. Now see here some more example for the mesh and the surface plot here. For the mesh plot, we have to define X and Y, then vector capital X and Y in terms of the small x and y, then Z, and Z will be defined in terms of this output of the XY after grading, mesh grading. And here we will write the mesh. We have to use only this command, that is the mesh X comma Y Z, X level, whatever we are interested to write on the X level, Y level, we can write here. Very simple or very long word here are the letter, whatever we are interested for that one we can write here on the X axis and the Y axis. Illustrating the use of the mesh grid. Now see here, we are getting very attractive, very complex graphs here, but by doing nothing. We are getting here everything by a very simple effort, and we can say that is not effort, but we are well aware with those concepts. Now we are just using those concepts here. One submission and one request is again here that please go through the practice of these commands here and write each and every command. Don't try to copy and then paste on the here the command window. Write each and every command so that whatever is the error that can be displayed. And if the error is taking place, it means at each and every time when error takes place, it teaches us. So we have to write the command on the here the command window in order to check these commands here. Similarly, if we are interested for a sync function having the nature of the sign R by R, then we will here the mesh grid of the to return the capital X and Y, and then we will define the R, and after defining the R we will write here the command sign R by R, and here we are using the dot and then operator, and mesh X comma Y comma Z here, and we will get this type of the graph here in this one, and that is the name is the mesh grid function. Now if we are interested for the surface three-dimensional colored surface here, now for if we write here the surf X comma Y comma Z and C. C is the vector that defines the color here. Now this command will be utilized here. Now see, we are using here the surf X comma Y comma Z, then specification about the color, means what will be the face color, interrupt edge color, different colors will be defined here, and we will get this type of the graph here. Now surface plot that is covering the total area of the mesh. For that purpose we will write here the surf. For the mesh we have to use the mesh command, and for the surface plot we have to write only the surf command here. Now surface plot of the non-uniform sample data here. If we use here the non-uniform sample data here, for example we have used here to generate the unevenly sample data. Then we have used the line space command, then mesh grid, and then grid the data, and then write here the command for the mesh X comma Y comma Z. Now see the result here. This will be the result for plotting the non-uniform sampled data. Now the curtain plot, as we have discussed that in the curtain plot, we have to consider only the z-axis here. So we will consider here the mesh z command. So we will define the x and y, then capital X and capital Y by using the mesh grid command, and we will define the capital Z in terms of the capital X and Y, and then we will write here the mesh Z, and we will get here the curtain plot. Only see, this one is the curtain plot. That is the only the vertical axis will be represented here, the curtain plot Z. Only if we use this command here, that is the x is defined, y is defined, and z is defined in this one. Here we are using the, what is difference here? Just see, very small difference, mesh and c. That is the mesh command along with the contours here. So this is the mesh plot here, and c includes the contour plots here also here. So this is the mesh c command, and we are getting here the mesh plot as well as the contours. And similarly, if we are interested for the surface contour, then we can use the surf C. That is the, we define the x, y, z, and then right here the surf C, and we will get here the surface and the contour plot here. Surf L, in this one is the same as the surf command, but here the surface is highlighted by a light source. So here we have defined the x, y, and z. Then we have written the surf L command, and we will get this type of the graph here. So again, this is a waterfall. As the mesh z, we have used only z axis here. If we are interested for the waterfall, that is one dimensional. So for that purpose, we will get here the waterfall x, y, z, and we will get this type of the graph here. If we are interested only for the contour, then we will define x, y, and z. We will use here the contour 3-dimensional between the x, y, z, having how many number of the contours. If we see, then there are the 15. See that this is the middle one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 upper side, and same 7 for the lower side. So 15 contours are there. Similarly, we can use again, this is again for the contour plot having the different function. Now for the sphere plot, we can use only the sphere command. If we are interested to draw any sphere for a particular given data, then we have to not write a very complex equation or complex program for that one. You just can do it by using only one command, that is the sphere. When we write the 3 vectors, that is x, y, z, sphere n, it generates the 3n plus 1 by n plus 1 matrices, so that the surf x, y, z produces a unit sphere. And when we write the x, y, z, means the n is the 20 here. So see here, we have used the sphere 20, and we have used the surf command. After generating the 3 matrices, we have used the surf x, y, z, and we will get here this type of the graph here. Now, if we are interested in order to see any particular view, top view, side view, left side, or right side, in order to design a system, or in order to observe the performance of any system, or in order to analyze some errors or other thing, so for that purpose, we have to decide which view is required. For the top view, we will decide the azimuthal angle and the elevation angle, that is the 0 and 90. Side view, that is the xz 0, 0, and the yz, that is the side view 90, 0 here. So here we can decide the azimuthal and elevation angle, and accordingly we can decide which view has to be seen here. For example, if we draw a graph, this one here, the mesh grid, and this is the surface plot of that graph here. And now suppose we are interested, this is the graph for the surface plot here, and if we are interested for the 180-degree view, then this will be the 180-degree view of this graph here. Now, if we use this again, this is a view, and this view has the azimuthal angle 90 degree and the elevation angle the 0 degree here. Now it is again related to the sphere. Now some special discussion means some special points which has to be considered in MATLAB, and we can consider it as a node. If we write mean square NaN, then what will happen? The function mean square returns the mean of the square of all finite value inputs. Since NaN is not finite values, so what will be the result here? The result will become 0. If we write here the mean absolute 1, 2, minus 3, then it means here the value first will be converted into the absolute value, minus 1 will become 1. So the total value will become the 1, 2, 1. That is the total sum is the 4. Mean of this absolute value divided by 3, 4 by 3, 1.33. Now if we define any vector A having the first row, these are the elements starting from 1 to 7 having a gap of the 3. That is, this becomes the 1, 4, and 7. Similarly, the second row, third row, and product of A first row, that is, it suggests that all the elements of the every column are to be multiplied, and the result is going to be displayed as a row vector, and hence we will get here the 6, 20, and 504 here. Now if we write here the product 1 NaN, since the range we have defined as 1, so each and every element will be multiplied by the 1 here. So the product of any number with NaN will give an output NaN. So the output of this one will become the NaN, not a defined number. If we write here the command cumulative sum 1, 2, 3, 4, n, then up to 1, 2, 3, 4 there is no problem. But after this one, what will happen? This is a not defined number, so 1 will be added to the previous one, 0, so that will become the 1, 1 and 2, 3, and 1, 2 and 3, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So this will be the output here. Now output of the following code, suppose we write here a code, see here the code, and we are using here the conditional loop, that is the for I 1 to 4 and j 1 to 4, and a is defined as 5, and then next a becomes a plus 5. Now what is happening? There are the two loops, first and the second. For each and every loop, the a will be value of the a will become 5 for starting from 1 to 4, because we have used here the semicolon, so it will not move to the next one. For each and every iteration, it will remain the 5, and hence at the last, when after 4, it will move to the next step. It will become the a plus 5. So the value will become the a plus 5. That is the 5 plus 5. It becomes the 10. Now the correct syntax of the function which performs the mean square of a set of the elements is the mean square. The correct syntax of the function which returns the square root is the square RT. And if we are interested for the mean square of a set of the elements, so it will become the mean square of the parenthesis here. That is the square root of the mean square function. If a is given by this one and product of this one, similarly we can get here the result as we have discussed in the previous one. Here this will be multiplied by 2, and then whatever is the row column matrix, that will be converted into the row matrix, because here we are using the transpose matrix. Here we have used the first column, that is the transpose of the matrix here. The correct syntax for the function which does cumulative summation is cumulative sum. The cumulative sum of the 1, 2, and minus 2. We cannot give a negative number as the input, so here the error will take place in this type of the command. We can write omit NaN, that is, if there is any number omit NaN, not a defined number, then we can exclude this one by using the omit NaN. For example, if the a is a vector 1, 2, and this vector NaN not a defined number, then in order to get the sum of the a, means all elements of the a will be summed here, but omit the not a defined number. The result of cumulative sum 1, 2, 3 is 1. Suppose we have the two command. One is the cum sum and the second one is the sum. Cum sum, cumulative sum, that is the 1 will be added to the 2, that is the 1, 3 and 6 will be the output. But here if we write only the sum 3, 3, then 3 plus 3 will be added and we will get only the 6 here. If we write this type of the command, then it represents the symbolic values of the A and K here. Sims means symbolic one. The predefined function in MATLAB to view the graph of a continuous and discrete time function, as we have discussed in the plot, that is the plot related to the continuous function and stem related to the discrete function here, or the discrete plot here. If x is given from -10 to 10, y is from -10 to 10, but here if we see, then there is a gap of the 1, and in this case there is a gap of the 2. So the number of the elements are different in the x and y. So we will not get a plot between the x and y, and hence the error will take place here. If this is the command x -10 to 10 and -10 to 10 having the same gap, that is the 1, and of we then plot x comma y, we have used the axis command before the plot command. Here we have defined the axis here, then we have used the plot. So here first we have defined the range of the axes, and then we have the use here the plot. So the plot has not been created before the axis, and we will see a graph having the x and y, but there will be no graph. We have to keep in mind the order while trying to plot two matrix arguments. MATLAB will take the column-wise relation between the two arguments. So if x is x1, x2, x3, y1 is the y1, y2, y3, then when we write the plot x comma y, it is a plot between the x1 and y1, x2 and y2, and so on. Semi-log x, we have discussed this one, that is the x-axis will be logarithmic here. And after trying to plot a pie chart, suppose some students, one problem has given in your quiz, that the students write here the rows. So in place of the pi, he or she has written the pi here. This is a predefined function in MATLAB. If we want to place a text at a position, we have to use the text, and if we are interested to write a movable text, then for that purpose we have to use the gtext command. The values of x should be increasing or decreasing in order to draw the graph here. Usually the default value of the width is 0.8. When we draw the bar graph, then the here the width of the bar is 0.1, and when we consider the 1 as a width, then all the bars are just touching to each other, and if the value of the width is more than 1, then what will happen? They will overlap to each other. To plot graph of fx and is equal to t and gy as a t in the same graph with the t as a parameter, the function to be used is the plot 3x y t. This will allow to draw the three-dimensional plot, and the plot will show both the function f and g with t on the z-axis. This is the three-dimensional plot which we have discussed as the first example during the time of the discussion, very starting of the three-dimensional plot. Now suppose these are the values of the a is given as the 100, and if a is greater than 99, then clear a. Since a is greater than 99, when we write this type of the command, the clear command will be executed, and we will get all the functions will be cleared here. The workspace window shows the attributes of the variables, script files, functions from the command window, as we have discussed in the different types of the windows here. If we write this type of the command, that is the pi 1 2 0 1 1 1, following the syntax of the predefined function pi in MATLAB, we find the length of the two arguments passed into the pi, argument 1 and argument 2 here must be the same. But here the argument 2 has the two elements, but 3 has the second one has the 3 elements. So here in this case the error will take place. Square root is a predefined function used to find a square root of large numbers to reduce the complexity of equation. So square root this is for the symbolic purposes. It is especially used in the MATLAB workspace. So this is all about the basic concepts of the MATLAB. In the first lecture, we have discussed the need of the application of the MATLAB, why there is a need of the MATLAB, and we have also tried to discuss the different commands which will be used here in order to write the program. And after this one, I think it is the 236, and at 240 we have planned a post quiz. So we will move for the post quiz. And again, I would like to request you all people to make a practice for these commands. And there is not a very tough practice is required. We just have to write the commands on our command window. And if we are very used to these commands, then we can move for the program, that is the .m file. And if we are in position to write the programs, so by arranging so many programs, we can utilize those programs for a particular field of the application, and that becomes that becomes a particular type of the toolbox. And for the purpose of the modeling, we can use the Simulink, and here we have discussed the concept of the coding using the .mdl or the toolbox, but till now we are in position so that we can use the different types of the command. So thank you all. Thanks to all